Hello plant people, how are you guys doing today? If you're new around here, my name is Ashley and I'm a soil scientist. On this channel, I like to take that science and apply it to all things plants. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about insecticidal soap versus Dawn dish soap. And if there is a major difference here, which one's harmful for your plants, which one works, which one doesn't, the science behind it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because it will give you a ton more useful content that is all science-based. So there's no I think or I thought. It is completely based on scientific journals and ultimately theoretical science, and some applied practice. Now let's jump into soap versus insecticidal soap. I have made blog posts about using Dawn dish soap. I have made videos about using Dawn dish soap, and I ultimately am using bad practice, I guess you could say. But am I going to stop using it? No. However, I want you guys to grow into awesome plant people. And in some cases, especially when we're talking about specialized plants or plants we hold near and dear to our heart, or if we're talking about situations where you're realizing, Dawn dish soap's not working for you, what's going on, this video is for you. Because ultimately, Dawn dish soap is a very big no-no when it comes to plants, and we'll get into exactly why that is. Ultimately, this isn't, this video wasn't spurred by a question anyone asked, but it is something that I do think is going to be valuable to you guys, just so you have a full picture of the information that's out there and what the science does say about this. Now, it was initially spurred by an article, a journal that I was reading on a horticulture group that was using insecticidal soap in a greenhouse scenario, and they were using it as a preventative measure, meaning they were spraying 3 times a growing season for prevention against a wide range of stuff. And that's actually the really cool thing about insecticidal soap, is it just won't necessarily take care of pests. It can take care of fungi, it can take care of bacterial issues, it can take care of pests, for example, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But ultimately, that's what I read. And then I was on Instagram, and there is a gentleman on there. He's the Crazy Plant Guy, and he is a horticulturalist, actually. And so he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He does have an Instagram, though. And he was on there talking about the differences between insecticidal soap and dish soap. And so I thought, well, this is crazy that multiple documents I've seen or statements I've seen about this have come out. So I thought, I better just get this on my channel, so then you guys have, the information you may need, whether that be to debate in forums or to just for your own personal benefit, when you see this stuff coming out, how it's going to benefit you, that sort of thing. So let's just jump straight into it. So let's first discuss why exactly we use soaps. And ultimately, it comes down to how they perform with a wide range of pest issues. And when I say pest, when we refer to pests in the plant science world, we're not referring to just like the creepy crawlies. We're talking about bacteria, fungi, viruses, and actual insects. So insecticides take care of insects, herbicides take care of herbs, fungicides take care of you guys get the idea here. So when we refer to pesticide, it's a blanket term for a product that is able to take care of a wide range of issues. And so that is what soap does, is it takes care of a wide range of different pests, and it can do this through various different types of mechanisms. So the first mechanism when it comes to insects is it actually will suffocate them, or in some cases it can strip the bug from the outside mucous membrane or oil or fat membrane that helps keep the bug safe. And so therefore it ultimately kills it. And conversely, for bacteria or fungi, viruses, in many cases, it will actually strip the outer coating, so the lipid coating or the protective coating on those pests off of it, and expose it to air, which can dry it out and will ultimately kill it. So that's the reason why we use soaps, in case you did not know that. The other benefit to this is that if you have a pest issue that is below the waxy surface on a leaf, which may be the case for a viral infection that's come up through the stem and into the leaves, the soap is able to strip away that waxy, oily coating on the actual plant to help penetrate into the leaves and help fight the infection. But that works on the reverse side too, and we'll get into that just a little bit later. This is probably the biggest takeaway from the entire video, and that is that dish soap is an actual soap. Dish soap is misnamed. It's actually a detergent. And so a detergent is drastically different than a soap in many, many different levels. So when we say soap, we're thinking of something very natural and archaic. So something that's made out of rendered animal fat, and that ultimately is what soap is. And so rendered animal fat has the ability to remove wax, oils, fats from the surface of different types of layers. And that's why it works great on our hands, our face, and why we use soap, not dish soap, on our hands and face to clean, because it strips away stuff lightly. It's not heavily invasive, and it's not going to do a bunch of damage when it goes through the entire stripping process. So that's why we use soap for hands and faces. Now, dish soap, or dish detergent as it should be called, is a completely different ball of wax, and so it has many different chemicals put into it to make it a heavy duty stripper, and that is why we use it on dish surfaces, clothes, removing oil from, little penguins in the ocean. That's why we use dish soap, is because it is a detergent. So it is able to penetrate the layer between the surface of plant leaf and the water on top. So now, the difference in the chemical is something we called a surfactant. So soap doesn't have a surfactant. Dish soap or detergents do have surfactants in them. And a surfactant is an amphiphilic molecule that has hydrophobic and hydrophilic parts to it. So what that means is that it is a molecule that has the ability to simultaneously repel water while also breaking down molecules that repel water to allow water to penetrate, which is why it makes it so effective as a cleaning product, especially on those duckies that are typically hydrophobic. So it says here, the main purpose of the surfactant is to decrease the interfacial tension and stabilize the interface. So it is trying to destabilize, meaning it's trying to remove the surface tension that causes a hydrophobic reaction. So when we wash our cars, typically after, we will do something like a Rain-X, which puts that hydrophilic or hydrophobic layer back on top to keep the water off. But when we're washing it, we're using a detergent. So we're using a surfactant to help break off that hydrophilic surface or hydrophobic surface to allow the water to penetrate so we can actually clean our vehicles. So that is what a surfactant does. That is what Dawn dish soap does when we apply it to our plants. It actually removes that top layer of wax, oil, fat, whatever's on that leaf based on the plant that you're dealing with. So if we're dealing with, many houseplants, it's going to be removing that waxy layer that we see on a lot of tropical plants. Whereas when we're dealing with, say, a tomato, it actually may be removing the oils that we see, those oils that are beneficial in deterring pests. When we spray it to the leaves, we'll be removing the oils that are on our trichomes, for example, on those little tiny hairs. So, not a great thing in that case. So soaps don't have surfactants. They either have sodium or they have potassium hydroxide mixed in with fat, ultimately is what it comes down to. So, and in the insecticidal soaps specifically, so the hand soaps or the facial soaps may have sodium in them, or they could have the potassium hydroxide, depending on, the quality and the moolah involved. But with the plant versions of insecticidal soaps we find in, the stores, such as the Safer's brand ones, those ones have potassium hydroxide. So it doesn't have the sodium in it, and this is a good thing. I mean, we know sodium is good for plants in small doses, but when we get too much of it, we get the crispy leaves and the burning effect. And if we are foliarly applying this, I mean, it's game over for that poor planty plant. So potassium chloride, or not potassium chloride, potassium hydroxide is kind of the main factor, and it makes it very, very mild for plant surfaces. So ultimately, when we spray a detergent such as Dawn dish soap onto our leaves surface, we do remove quite a significant amount of that protective barrier. And when we remove the protective barrier, while we may be removing, the pests that are involved in whatever form they may come in, we are also leaving that plant very exposed to potential other infections, because ultimately the plant's immune system is that outer waxy coating, or those trichomes, or whatever the case is. So when we remove that from the plant in any capacity, we are leaving that plant now exposed until the plant is able to regenerate it, if the plant is able to regenerate it. So in some cases it may not be able to. So we have to keep that in mind as well, depending on the plant that we're battling. Now keep in mind, the insecticidal soaps will strip some of that waxy coating, some of the fat, some of the oils from the leaves or from the insects, and that's what makes it effective. So you're still going to get that in some level, but the difference is that the detergents are the worst. So they're going to do the most damage because they have those really special surfactants in it. Then we have the hand soap. So we have the Dove bars of soap, and that may have sodium hydroxide in it. I don't know if it does or not, but say it does. And so that is now, a little bit more abrasive and a little bit not as effective as a surfactant version, but relatively effective and removing that grime, the waxy layer, the oily layer. And then we have our insecticidal soaps, which have that potassium hydroxide, and then in some cases, in a lot of cases actually, especially with the higher quality stuff, it has long chain fatty acids as the rendered animal fat in the product, and therefore when we get that, it's even lighter, it's even milder than the other two above that, and therefore while it removes just enough to make it effective in pest control in some cases. But many of us find that the Dawn dish soap works a heck of a lot better at getting rid of the mealybugs than the Safer's insecticidal soap, and ultimately that is the reason, is because one is way more intense than the other. So one of the studies that I was reading was the Clemson University, and they stated in this document that while you could make insecticidal soap mixture, there's a substantial increased risk for the plant that may cause injury. And then they go in to mention the plants that should not at all get an application of insecticidal soap, whether that be in the form of the plant safe version or the homemade version. And so I'll insert that here as well, and I will have that up over on the blog as well if you want to check that out. And then there are some somewhat sensitive plants that don't do very well with the insecticidal soap applied. Now, with that being said, if you have applied a Dawn dish soap or an insecticidal soap to your plant and you're starting to realize a wilting, a crispy leaf look, or the plant just overall is looking very sick, and I've actually had this happen, and it's ultimately because of my choice in Dawn dish soap. But what you need to do is you need to immediately wash the plant leaves off as much as possible. Whatever's crispy, it's already done, but the stuff that's wilted, you can hopefully get to come back as soon as the plant has the ability to put that wax back on. And what happens when the plant is wilting like that, or you're noticing that wilting effect, is because we've removed that wax, we've actually exposed the guard cells in our stomata to an increased rate of evapotranspiration. So the waxy layer on the outside of the leaf not only helps protect against pests, but it also helps keep water inside the leaf. It helps keep the turgor pressure up inside the leaf. And so when we apply a soap to it and we get that wilting effect, it's not so much that we've killed, well, we're on our way to killing the plant, but what we've done is we've caused an imbalance in the plant cell's ability to stay full because we've removed that protective waxy coating, whether that be protection from the sun or protection from evaporation, whatever the case is, or pests in some cases as well. So definitely something to keep in mind. But I hope you guys found this video helpful. I mean, at the end of the day for me, Dawn dish soap in emergency circumstances is what works and is what I will continue to use. Now, if you're noticing issues or you're seeing red flags when using Dawn dish soap, this is it. This is the reason why. And so it's up to you to choose whether or not you want to use it. Will it kill your plant every time? Absolutely not. Can it kill your plant if you chose to do something similar to what the hort group, the paper that I was reading on the horticulture group, doing preventative spraying regardless? I mean, yeah, ultimately you could cause some damage, especially if you're reusing it multiple times within a growing season. So that's kind of what it comes up to. It's all within moderation and that sort of thing. So something to definitely keep in mind. You have to let me know down in the comments below if you knew this or if you are just choosing to steer away from Dawn dish soap now. As always, be sure to share this with anyone that you care about and want to make a plant person that is the envy of all the block, because science trumps all. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.